Hey, what's up guys? How's everybody doing today? If my voice sounds a little funky or if I look like shit, I apologize. I'm a little under the weather at the moment. But anyway, Netflix just put out this movie called What Happened to Monday. And honestly, it's a pretty interesting little movie. Noomi Rapace is in it a grand total of 7 times because she plays a pair of septuplets, or a group of septuplets, whatever, that grow up in a dystopian future where everybody has embraced the China rule where everybody's only allowed to have 1 child per couple, and they grow up in secret, and since there's 7 of them, each one of them has a designated day where they're allowed to go out and assume the one identity that they all portray. But all of a sudden, Monday goes missing and they try and figure out what happened to Monday. And then from there on, the movie turns into this kind of like mystery sci-fi futuristic thriller. And this movie is a ride and a half. Not like the newest ride in the park, but it's like one of the rides that's still fun even though they haven't quite updated it yet. Now, the movie might have its flaws, but there's still a lot to like about the movie. Obviously, the cast is amazing. You have Noomi Rapace playing 7 different characters, and she's pretty awesome for the most part. Willem Dafoe's just a killer as usual. And then Glenn Close plays the evil corporate CEO, and, you know, if there's anybody who can play that, it's Glenn Close. Now, in all reality, there's a couple moments where Noomi Rapace's character, or characters, seems a little bit disingenuous, but then a second later, she just makes up for it, and it just gets better immediately. So for every pocket of not that great, it's followed by pretty good, generally. And some of the action scenes kind of reminded me of John Wick, I don't know if it was the way, like, the blood splatter happened, or just the way the action, like, paced itself in general, but that's the movie that it reminded me of, and it also gave off this really, really sweet, like, Minority Report kind of vibe, with the way all the, like, screens pop up, and the way everybody, like, uses their fingers to, like, navigate through the internet or whatever they're looking at. And the, like, intro montage to the entire movie sets up the whole story pretty well. I personally like the way the movie ended and just, like, the whole third act in general, even though it was a little bit hammy here and there. I won't go into detail. Long story short, the ending was pretty satisfying in my opinion. And just the overall subject matter of the movie, like, I thought it was a great premise, and it was, like, there was a lot of room for them to have fun with it, and you could tell that they did. And it also gave Noomi Rapace just miles of, like, room to, like, experiment and try different things. However, there were some negatives to the movie, though. A couple of times it was logistical stuff, and when I say that, I mean, like, the guys over at CinemaSins would have a ball with certain scenes in this movie. Like, there's a couple times where you're just like, okay, how did that person get up to that floor when the thing that happened on the main floor that happened a few days ago happened? Like, how did that happen? Or just, like, kind of these little, like, how is that possible type of things. And there was at least 1 or 2 things that were in the movie, like, that were cinematic, but they were there just to be aesthetically pleasing. They weren't actually practical, I guess. Take, for example, you're watching a movie and, like, there's some dance crew that's about to go into a dance competition. One of the girls gets shot in the ass, and then a couple minutes later, you see her, like, twerking or doing her thing or whatever with the team. And the only thing indicating that she's in pain is, like, 1 bead of sweat goes down her head. Now, as aesthetically pleasing as that might look on screen, nowhere near practical. In real life, that woman would be screaming in pain, not dancing, or she would be dancing in a way that's so awkward that you couldn't even make sense out of it. Something of that type happens a couple times throughout the movie that just seems completely impractical, but it was just kind of there to be aesthetically pleasing, and it really didn't have to be in there, and the movie did that at least once or twice, so I felt like it was trying a little bit too hard at times. But honestly, guys, other than that, this movie is great. It's a fun narrative. It's a really interesting story. You really want to know exactly what happened to Monday throughout the movie. So based on all that, I think I'm going to give this movie an 8.3 out of 10. It's very clear that the effort was put into this movie, but a little bit too much so at times. But once you get past all that shit, this is a really, really, really fun sci-fi movie, and it's an original idea, and it's really nice to see that kind of shit, especially on Netflix. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this movie yet? Hop in the comments. Let me know what's up. Other than that, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, do all that other bullshit, and I will catch you guys later.